So,
Hi, Faith.
hey, Becky.
I'm so excited to chat with you to talk about what you do and an offer you have coming up because I really want to use my platform, which feels weird to say because my platform is not huge, but whatever platform I have, I really want to use that to try and uplift the amazing things that other incredible founders are doing and not have it just be a way to promote my own stuff, but like what other people are doing. And we are in a mastermind together, and I know the incredible stuff you're doing. You did some coaching with me that was really awesome. So I can wholeheartedly recommend you and what you do. So this is a new experiment to try like these little mini, I don't know, conversations about someone's offer and give people an opportunity to learn about what someone else is doing and hopefully take advantage. So I really hope you'll listen to what Faith is going to tell you. And
Cool.
if it's for you, take advantage because I promise you working with Faith is amazing. So Faith, tell people a little bit about who you are and the kind of work you do.
Oh, Becky, thank you so much, though, for offering this, right? I'm Faith Clark, and I help people build restorative work cultures in their organizations and in their businesses. And one of the key elements of doing that is just building how we relate to each other in ways that are more human. And recognizing that the ways we relate to each other have been crafted through old systems that have been very harmful to people. And these are all the ways that we relate, how we work together, how we make decisions, how we learn together, um, how we how we design life together. Is a lot of it is just supremacist in its own underpinnings and therefore harmful to most of us.
Well, you know, you're speaking my language. Like, this is the stuff that gets me excited, these kinds of conversations and this kind of work. Why is it important to you?
I am mommy to three maverick superhero humans who are neurovariant, and that just means that the world is not designed with them in mind. And so I'm pretty committed to the spaces they occupy being different before I leave the planet. And so I've worked with nonprofits and schools because they've gotten a ton of services from these people. And I also want their workspaces to be different and to be able to integrate them and accept them, and they can feel belonging while having meaningful work. So that's my why.
And you helped me envision through the coaching work that you did with me, like a community that I'm wanting to build. And at some point, I really plan to build. And it took it from the place that I think so many of us start, which is sort of like the what will sell, to this place of no, what is actually calling out to me? What is meaningful? What reflects the way I want to show up in the world? What creates the kind of space that I want to occupy and that I want to be in with others? And so I know firsthand that the work you do like really benefits across all sorts of things, like you said, schools, but also businesses, coaches, people who are running memberships, people are creating courses, anywhere where you want to create this sense of real belonging and think about that in a way that's bigger than just what gets butts in seats, right? What'll get people to pay me, but what will create really meaningful experiences for people. So you're doing a program coming up soon, October something, which is why we're having this conversation that I know is very much in alignment with that and for like anyone who's creating spaces. So tell us about what that offer is.
Overall, I'm decolonizing work. And a decolonization is a return. It's a return to the way things are supposed to be. So, this particular offer is for anybody who facilitates transformation or learning in a group setting. So, coaches with group programs, consultants who do group 3, 4 day situations, mastermind leaders, teachers, after school program leaders. How do we facilitate learning as a transformational tool in a group setting? And often we've done it with the sage on the stage kind of thing. I have knowledge, I pour knowledge into you, open mouth, you take it. And my offer is, how do we decolonize that? How do we actually turn it on its head so that the natural ways that humans actually learn together in community are leveraged, so that every type of voice, every type of body has space and place in our group settings and can receive the support and the input that they need to help them overcome the barriers they face. And so it's a reimagining in some ways, but really it's a return to what we already know about who we are as humans and what happens when we actually get into community with each other.
The piece that you said about making sure there's space for everyone, I want to just, as a white woman, and for anyone who's watching this who is white bodied, I know that the work you're doing is incredibly important for us, most especially when we're holding and creating and holding space, because too often we see the world, and this is just how we're all wired. We see the world through our own eyes. And so we make the part that's the problem is we make the assumption other people see the world through the same set of eyes, and they do not. And so if we're trying to create spaces that really are going to be spaces that everyone can learn, then we need to be making sure we're thinking about people who aren't just like us and what does that look like. And that's the stuff where I feel like you can help, you do help challenge people to be thinking in a bigger way about what is true belonging, what is true community for everyone. I think this is really important for white folks, white-bodied people who are creating learning environments. I'm sure that's not only people who benefit though. So tell us who this is for.
So any identity that you hold, that's a dominant identity. So white, male, any hetero, you create centering your perspective. And so this is for anybody who wants to say, I want the beauty of diversity. I actually want to create spaces that fit the way nature, since we're all nature, the way nature does it, where diversity is blessing and benefit and joy. And that when we actually end up with centered spaces, what we end up with is harming the earth, the planet, and so on. So this particular one, there are a lot of people who are in the coaching space who are interested in this offer. And so it's likely going to be focused on virtual group learning experiences like coaching programs and masterminds, and talking about how we design those experiences to leverage and maximize the learning without having to have a massive team of people creating individualized learning experiences for everybody in the program. Because that's also what we think is needed. Oh, high custom means more people, more expensive offer. And I'm saying, no, actually, we're just not leveraging how humans are. And if we shift a few things, we could create something where the communal learning experience happens and emerges versus trying to direct and drive it the way many of our programs are doing.
I think this is an excellent way for those of us, because if you're like a subscriber to Feminist Founders, if you've watched this far into this video, you're somebody who cares about equity and social justice. You're somebody who says that they're trying to challenge all of these harmful norms, these colonized sort of norms in our businesses. This is a way to walk that talk, right? This is a place where you can say, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the work to make sure that the way I'm showing up in the world actually reflects these things that I'm saying. That to me feels like a big why, but I wonder if there's like for you another why that people should have or that you think about for why take this program.
Why I think is the how question is always hard to answer. We haven't seen this before. And so often I've had 9 years of doctoral stuff plus other graduate school, all along 20 odd years of schooling, it's been done a particular way. And so regardless of my best intentions, I recreate the experiences I've had. So many people will say to me, yeah, Faith, I agree with this, but how? How do we make this? How do I make my offer affordable and still offer this in a way that is deeply human? Because we now see deeply human as expensive. And I'm like, it requires a challenge in our thinking. So anybody who wants to be open to the question of how, this is a great time for us to kind of just dig into that and think about what's even one practice in our group coaching or group learning experience that we can change that will just tweak the nozzle just a little bit more.
And I won't ask you that how, but I do want to ask the how is this being delivered? What can people expect if they sign up for what I would tell you is a very reasonable price for this offer? How does it actually get delivered?
It's delivered virtually by Zoom. We're going to be in an interactive experience that's going to be co-created. So I will be facilitating, but I'll also be modeling some of what I teach. And as people interact with each other, what's going to emerge is the clear strategy for each person's group program. So there'll be breakout rooms, there'll be hot seats. I am notorious for needing 3 hours, so I'm going to be reining myself in to this hour and a half time window that we're scheduling. And then people have the opportunity to schedule half an hour with me afterwards for us to personalize whatever came out of the session with, take what we did and then look at their personal business and see what further needs to be tweaked.
I love Faith. I am so excited for this and for you and for everyone watching. If you sign up, I'm really excited for you to get to be in space with Faith and to experience her work. So I really hope that you will read. And I want to just share there's not a fancy sales page for this, because this is a new offer that Faith is trying out. And as we should all remember and learn, what is the easiest way for us to test something, to put it out there? We don't need to overcomplicate things. So you have a Word doc. I'm going to link to it where you can go and read what she has. There's some great information about helping to self-select to make sure that you see yourself in the problems she outlines and in the potential opportunity here, that it's the kind of vision that you hold, and then also some testimonials. So you can sign up directly through that. You'll get the information when you sign up. The one thing I want to make sure people know is that you'll see like a calendar link. That's to book your one-off call after. So don't get confused by that, because I was sort of like, wait, what's this? I thought it was on October, whatever. What day is it? October?
It's October 18th.
18th.
And it's at 1 p.m.
Central?
Eastern.
Eastern.
Yes, 1 p.m. Eastern. Talking about centering a particular perspective, right?
Right. I should know by now that in America, the Eastern time
Eastern is what's centered. Oh my goodness.
But I very much center Central. But anyway, so 1 p.m. Eastern on October 18th. But when you go sign up, you'll see other calendar dates. That's to schedule your one-on-one time with Faith after. But you can sign up for the main session. You'll just get the information on how to show up at the call.
Yeah. The registration basically has some questions that I want to kind of tune into your business. So whoever is going to answer those questions, they schedule their session with me for after the workshop, and then they pay the fee, and then the emails will come in with all the information.
All right. Well, I am giving my personal seal of approval because I have worked with Faith, so that I can say that I have seen that magic, especially around things like creating communal spaces, learning spaces, spaces where we're going to be with others. I just think it's incredibly important for us to think beyond just what'll get the butts in the seats, what's going to pay the bills, but what am I doing once I have those butts in the seats to make sure that their experience is the best that it can be. And how do I do that without it only looking the way I see the world, right? So I highly recommend.
I think we have to be willing to take responsibility for people's outcomes. It's not just the butts in the seat. It has to be, what is that person's experience in the world, and how do I help them take their next step? And to really hold that, we have to be willing to broaden the approaches that we've been using.
Yeah. Well, if you do sign up and you attend, let me know what you think. Let me know how it goes. And if you're not able to right now, because we also know maybe this isn't the time for you, you're not creating something and it's not in your mind space, or you just don't have the funds at the moment. Also, make sure you go and sign up for the Feminist Founders Audio Summit, because Faith delivered some amazing tips and helpful things inside of that. So if you're not yet a paid subscriber, upgrade and you can listen to Faith's interview there. If this is the right time and you have the budget, I definitely recommend you sign up for Faith's program on October 18th. And thank you, Faith, for joining me to talk about it and letting me experiment with this new way of showing up and uplifting voices.
Thank you, Becky.